Hello everyone. Hope you all are doing good. Today I'm going to talk about this book called Goat Days by Benjamin. This book has been recently got adapted into a movie called Aadujeevitham, The Goat Life, starring Prithviraj in the leading role. This book was initially suggested by my Malayali friend, and since she knows that I love reading books, she insisted me to read this one because she told that it is a very good gripping tale, and it really ended up so. We cannot just read this book as just a mere story. It is a life led by someone with all those difficulties he had faced in his life. He endured all those pains and with a very limited light hope in his heart and a bit of faith in his God. So, this book is a story about this man called Najib who travels from India to Gulf to get a good job. He is a Malayali and he sees all his Malayali friends getting settled well after going to Gulf countries and earning well. So he wishes to go and earn well for his family needs, but unfortunately ends up being trapped in the desert as a slave to an Arab man, and Najib's only job there is to take care of the goats and the camels of this Arab man who doesn't even provide a proper shelter or a place to sleep and doesn't even provide proper food to eat. All he eats is kubus, kind of roti, or I don't know what it is, but it's very hard, is what is described in the book. Kubus with the goat milk. There is no place to escape or no chance of escaping from that desert or from that particular place. All Najib sees around himself is the vast sand, the desert, and nothing else. Not even a single tree can be found by him. And his owner, the Arab man, doesn't even provide water to wash himself or take bath or nothing. Najib leads a life of slavery for 2 to 3 years by just taking care of the goats, sleeping, waking up, taking care of the goats, taking them out to graze. Well, the goat can't graze anything in the desert, but they just want the goats to stay active. So that is why Najib takes them out of the Masara. Masara is a place where they keep the goats, which is surrounded by a fence. And also, importantly, there is no human to make a connection with or talk to. And Najib has no way of communicating to people or to his homeland. And there's nothing that he can do. All he can do is just be with the goats, which is a hell, right? So, how he escapes from this condition is what the book is like, how he gets trapped there and how he escapes from there is what the entire book is. I really wonder that we live in such a world where these things are taking place. I must say, there is not a single point where I felt bored when I read this book. I completed it in just 3 days with all my household chores and office work just because the tale was so gripping and it didn't make me bored anywhere. All the author got in this book is just the story. No big explanations or describing an experience or a thing in a you know how the authors write, they describe it in their own words and all those things, right? It is not so in this book. The story is plain and just put on the paper, so it is so true and no big exaggerations anywhere in this book, I must say. I think every one of us should read this book to learn the lesson of endurance and faith, as I said earlier. The small little hope and faith that Najib had made him survive somehow, and got him finally to his homeland of safety. Though the author didn't describe anything particularly, but we can see how the desert could be dangerous and how an oasis in the desert will be a heaven. And we can feel the hope that people carry from their homeland to work outside, out of their land in a foreign country. We also can see how human can react so insanely when he is helpless, or how can he become so selfish at times in his thinking when put in an helpless condition. Even the finest man could turn insane. So nothing is in our hands, it's all with the creator. That's all I can say. And I also felt how cruel the people can be. Even if a person is a slave, he should not be treated like this. And this is really cruel. And I don't know how such things are happening in this world still. Why don't anyone stop it? Fine, you can definitely go and read this book or choose to watch the movie, whichever way you feel fine. But this kind of stories should be shared to our children because we need to teach them that life can change at any moment and we might be put in any different kind of situations. And in such cases, how we need to be patient and have faith in life and have hope, how to endure and survive somehow, fight for your survival is what this lesson, I mean, the story teaches us. And not only that, we can always tell them to feel better when compared to the sufferings that others have gone through. The sufferings of pain that you're having is not the biggest because there are worse conditions. So, this is another lesson that we can teach our children. So, whatever you're going through is just a mere thing. You don't have to be, taking it very big or emotional to your heart when you can just think about the people like this who are suffering at worse conditions than you and how they are living and taking their life positively. So that's what another lesson that this story teaches us, and we must really need to share this to our children. So, good days to be read by all, to feel better that you're much blessed. That's all I can say. Well, we'll meet you with another good book. Till then, bye from the Talking Book.